I have made a lot of mistakes blogging. It has taken me a long time to get to a place in my blogging journey where I am happy with my content. And maybe you can relate to this struggle. I have had 3 different blogs since I started in 2017 and 2 different YouTube channels in that time as well. And there have been many more changes and many more struggles in that time period. If you find yourself in the same struggle of posting a lot of content but getting no views, trying to figure out what niche you want to be in, or even struggling to make money blogging, I've been there. And in today's video, I'm going to try and help you speed up that process. If I were just starting a blog today, what would I focus on and what would I avoid doing? Hopefully this will allow you to see the pitfalls and mistakes that I have made in my blogging business so that you can learn to avoid them yourself. The first thing that I would do is pick the right platform. Once I heard about blogging, it sounded so exciting, but I didn't know where to start out. So I first chose Wix.com. And while I think Wix can be great, if you don't know how to blog or anything about online marketing at all, Wix is probably not the best place for you. You really have to know what you're doing. When I was doing Wix, there was no way to set up a theme and have things done for you. I essentially got a blank webpage and I had to figure out how to design my own website. I had to design and place every single text box for myself. And considering I had no idea how to even blog, there was no way that I was going to be able to set up and design my own website. I spent 3 full days trying to set up my blog to make it look just right. And in the end, I ended up quitting within the next week. There are reasons why I quit that have nothing to do with Wix, and we'll get into those a little bit later, but part of the reason was choosing the wrong platform to start out on. Then finally, I found WordPress. However, I found the free option with WordPress. It worked for a while till I wanted more, and then I upgraded to the business plan, which was another huge mistake that I made. I personally don't recommend using WordPress.com. I personally don't recommend starting a free blog if you want to make money doing this in the future. It's a good place to start out on maybe, but definitely not a good place to grow and start a very professional blog. On top of, definitely do not upgrade it to the business plan. If you feel that you are in a good spot with your WordPress.com free blog that you want to take this and invest money into it, just go self-hosted. The reasons are endless for why you should just choose self-hosted if you're thinking about going to the business option, but we're not going to talk about those right now. After all of this, which by the way, did not happen over the course of a few months. This is a summary of the things that happened over the course of a few years that I finally find self-hosted WordPress, which is where I am currently hosting my blog. If you are serious about trying to start a blog, save the few years of headaches that I went through and just go self-hosted. You're going to have a bunch of free tools and amazing options right at your disposal, and you'll be able to do what you want with absolutely no restrictions. But if you're not sure where to get started and you're really debating between the two, I did a video which I will link up there or down below in the description about the differences between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. And I'll also link down below a few resources about going self-hosted along with my favorite self-hosting, which is SiteGround. It's what I've been using since I started my self-hosting journey and what I plan to continue using in the future. Next is making sure you choose the right niche for you. Now this may take some time to figure out. I know that it did for me. When I first started out, I was writing about mental health. That did not last long at all. Next, I moved on to arts and crafts, which slowly transitioned into just talking about crochet. After that, I started talking about blogging and business and social media, which as you can see on the channel, that has largely stayed the same, where I mostly talk about Pinterest and blogging. On my blog, however, I wanted to open up my topics a little bit more and go into more of a lifestyle niche. So I talk about mindsets, morning routines, manifestation, and more. This change came when I stopped being known as Businesswomen Thrive and started being known as Sarah Marie. So as you can see, a lot has changed in my business over the years. But knowing all of this, I can give you some advice for how not to have to change this much in your business. The first thing is, honestly, just accepting that change is going to happen. Redirection is going to happen. Chances are, if you're just starting out, what you're writing about now is probably not what you're going to be writing about in the future. And that's okay. You're going to change and redefine your business as you grow. I already know even more changes that I want to make to my business in the future once I have the means to do so. The change is not over yet. Now, it is possible that what you're writing about now is your passion and it is what you are going to be writing about in the future, but that's maybe not likely. We have to remember that change isn't always a bad thing. And while I do believe that it is important to niche down, I don't think that you should niche down too soon. When you are first starting out, you don't want to put yourself in a box with blinders on because you may miss opportunities that you didn't even know were there. For example, when I started my craft blog, I talked about all of the different crafts that I was interested in until I saw that crochet was doing really well for me. Then I narrowed down as talking mostly just about crochet. And I could have been really successful in that niche, but it wasn't for me, so I moved on. And then with the channel, I started talking about blogging, goals, and social media. So I had a wide range of topics that I was talking about until I posted about Pinterest, and a video that I did absolutely blew blew up for me. And then I noticed after that, once YouTube picked up my Pinterest videos in the algorithm, that every Pinterest video that I posted did considerably better than all of my other videos. So I niched down a little bit and put my focus on mostly Pinterest videos. The key is to take a bunch of your different interests, preferably related around the same thing, and talk about all of them at once. Then once you've done that, you can analyze your stats and ask yourself which one of these topics is doing better than the others, if there are any at all. If there is, you should double down on that topic. Now that doesn't mean that that is the only thing that you need to talk about. Like here on the channel, I still like to post some blogging videos like this one, but you can put a primary focus on that one topic. Next is to learn about SEO. This is one thing that I really wish that I did in the beginning. Google traffic is going to be your best friend. You'll be able to rank your posts in search and get organic traffic that tends to convert a lot better than social media traffic in terms of sales and how long people stay on your blog in general. So you want to make sure you can leverage that traffic and get it flowing to your blog as quickly as possible. This is going to take a while to do, however, though, because Google traffic is not something that is going to be instant, but that is why you should make it a priority. The sooner you can learn how to get ranked in Google, the sooner you can start getting traffic from them. It may take up to 6 months for a new blog for Google to start indexing your site and actually ranking your posts in search. So it's best to get a head start. Plus, then you won't have the headache that I have now, which is going through all of your old content and optimizing it for SEO. You'll just have that done right up front. This next point probably won't come as a surprise to many of you when I say learn how to use Pinterest. It is my favorite tool for driving traffic to my site. But Pinterest, like Google, takes a lot of work and a lot of time. So you want to start on it as soon as possible. Pinterest can be a hard platform to leverage, so it will likely take some time and strategy to get it working properly. But if you're struggling, I have an entire playlist and a ton of videos on how to use Pinterest and get it going for your blog. And of course, soon enough, I will have a Pinterest course out within the next few months teaching you everything that you need to know about Pinterest and my current strategies that I'm using. Once that course is out, if you're watching this a few months down the line, I'll be linking it down below in the description. So it may already be out, but as of right now, it's not out quite yet. Now, this is the biggest point. Know how you are going to make money. You cannot have a successful business without it. And there are so many ways that you can make money blogging. I talk about a lot of them in this video here. My best advice for this is to learn all of the ways that you can make money and then pick which one you think is best for you and your business model and narrow down one or two to start out with. Because you don't want to expand too quick too soon. If you try to focus on all the different ways that you can make money and try and master every single one at once, you're likely not going to master any of them. So my advice is to start out with the easiest ones. Start out with running ads on your blog, but honestly don't rely on them as making a good source of income because you're going to need a lot of views if you want to make any decent amount of income with ads. However, it's still a good thing to start out with because you can set it and then forget it. Then you can move on to affiliate marketing. Mention the products you love in your blog posts and on your social media. Then stick with this for a while until you get a good source of income from it. From there, once you have an audience and you know what they want, you can move on to creating products like I am now. Then once you have a big enough following, you can move to brand deals or even merch. You need to take this step slow though. You need to have influence and trust before you can really start making any money with any of these methods. Once you have influence and trust, then you can start worrying about how to make money blogging. One thing to learn about growing a blog is it is all just building blocks. You need a strong foundation to start out on first. Figure out what platform you want to work on and make sure it is a good one. Then go on to creating quality content. Then after that, focus on SEO and get your blog posts ranked in Google. Build up your following and traffic on social media, and then get people to trust you. And once they trust you, then you can move on to affiliate marketing and all of the amazing ways that you can make money. But if you don't have that strong blog foundation first, you're really going to struggle. So get that first, and then you can move on from there. Which leads me to reminding you that starting a blog and growing a profitable business takes time. This business is not something that you will start one day and have booming by next week. I started blogging in 2017, and here now in 2022, am I finally working on creating my first course. This is my first big offer. All of the other products that I have created are small. They're $8 at most. And I have made so many mistakes along the way. So many mindset shifts and limiting beliefs and obstacles and comfort zones that I've had to get out of. And of course, the hundreds of times that I have thought about quitting. And you too are likely to go through the exact same things. But I hope I can speed some of that process up along for you and give you a clear roadmap of how to get where you want to go. And if you liked this video, make sure to let me know by giving it a like and subscribing to my channel down below for more videos just like this. If you're interested in this content and would like to see more, check out one of these two videos right here. And I'll see you next week. Bye!